What's up, Airsofters? It's Brady here at the Airsoft Headquarters. It is the week of SHOT, which means I am filling in for the vlog this week. So, figured I would take this opportunity to talk to you guys about TFAK Customs, which is my brand of custom stuff that we do here at the Airsoft Headquarters. To show you a little bit about it, I've got a whole line here of different custom guns done in-house by me, as well as we've got a number of other custom guns here like the P90 and the 1911 that are not necessarily done through me, but in-house customs that are done otherwise. Ignore the Uzi. It's cool, but it's not custom, just super collectible. So, to give you an idea, some of the things that I do with this custom stuff. For example, this is the Crusader M-Lock. This is something that has been built from scratch. Basically, took all these parts, bought them, purchased them, and then built them into a complete, ready-to-go rifle. Other times, they have been customized guns, like the Xiphos here, which was built off of a VFC 416C, basically. A little bit different than the 416C, but most of the parts of the 416C built into a completely new gun. Same with this custom KSK style G36K, built off of a different G36, but rebuilt, new parts on there, internal, externals, built into a new gun. This AK here, this is an ICS AK, built from ICS parts for the most part, but also new parts in there that are not normally on these guns, built into a whole new custom gun. So, what I do a lot of times for this custom stuff is I look at popular styles out there, or certain themes that are out there in the market currently, and I may build a gun around that. I may take something that's new on the market and build a gun around it. For example, take a new HPA system or a new, say, high-end MOSFET or something, and build a custom gun around it, and I'll have those here at the shop. The other thing that I do is I will build custom guns for customers, build a one-off gun for them. I actually have some good examples of that. You can actually see a lot of these on my Facebook page, TFAK Customs. So let me go through a couple of those with you. Alright, so here we have the Shop Custom MTW, which Talon and I went to Wolverine's headquarters in Kingsport, Tennessee a couple years ago, when the MTWs were actually still not released yet, and we built one, and I went ahead and rebuilt it as a Mark 18 Mod 1, as you see here. Got some photos of it, all the stuff that's been done to it. As you see, we've gone ahead and put a mock suppressor on here. It is one of the Surefire style SOCOMs, one of the older SOCOMs. We put some of the Knights Armament flip-up sights on there. PEC 15, the Knights Armament style, or the Tango Down style vertical grip, with on the other side a replica Surefire 951 flashlight with the pressure switch going down to that grip. See the Magpul MOE stock, Magpul MOE grip. We've got a replica EOTech 553 on there. Actually have the rifle here, so I can show you more in detail. But we've got the licensed Daniel Defense Mark 18 flat dark earth rail, a licensed Daniel Defense quick detach sling mount. If you can kind of see the licensing on there, using one of the LBX. Actually, my LBX 2-point sling, love these slings, fantastic. And of course, PTS EPM mag with a Ranger plate on it. Again, love these mags, fantastic. So yeah, this is kind of a cool gun that we've done. It does just have the regular Inferno Gen 2 engine in there, as that was only thing available at the time. With the Magpul grip, we are running the wiring down in the base plate here, which some people run them in the buffer tubes. Found it much easier, since these Magpul grips have this door on the bottom, to simply route all the wiring and battery down inside, and that kind of conveniently holds it in place. Fantastic gun, a lot of fun to shoot. Highly recommend if you have the money and want a very high performance gun, pick yourself up an MTW from Wolverine Airsoft. One of my personal guns is my Wolverine Reaper in my Mark 12 Mod 1 that I've built. So this is the Reaper electromechanical HPA system. So it is still using electronics, but there is no FCU in there, no fire control unit. So no board, basically it's just wired directly to the trigger contacts, semi-auto only. So went ahead and built a proper replica Mark 12, put a bunch of the goodie accessories on there and painted it up all fancy. You've got, as you see in this picture, the amped in-grip line for the Wolverine products. Very nice heavy-duty braided hose for that. That's very nice. It does have the full stock on here with a sticker on here. It's actually a air support sticker on there, so how the Special Forces or whatever would call in air support, it's got that on there. Replica LaRue SPR, kind of hard to see, SPR scope mount on there with my 3-9 scope in it. Using a regular Knights Armament style vert grip. Of course, have to have the Fear the Reaper sticker on there. Here it is actually in use. This is at a event by Airsoft Republic, rest in pieces, down in Tinley Park, Illinois, when I ran that gun. A lot of fun. But then going back, Harris bipod, Mach Pec 2 unit, and then the suppressor. This gun is extremely quiet, very fun, nice and accurate, very consistent, as HPA is many times. Another nice shop custom I've got here, this is another shop demo, is a Redline N7 Milsim in a Colt CQB. This is actually one of my old guns. This thing has kind of a special place in my heart because this was my first M4 that I ever owned many years ago. I did this paint job on it a long time ago. It's definitely a unique paint job, kind of like a woodland digital look to it, but it's all hand done. This does have, like I said, the Redline N7 Milsim in there. So this is semi-auto only, full mechanical unit, no electronics whatsoever. Of course, got the Redline patch on there. I've got a PTS, the EPGC grip on there, of course, with the line routed out there, and another replica Knights Armament basic vertical grip. Got a Mach suppressor in there, again, to make this thing quiet. Like a lot of the HPA guns, this thing is quite silent. And then you can't see it, but inside of here I am using a Sugru R-hopped barrel that I did in-house here. And let me tell you, this gun shoots really far, really accurate. I actually used this at that same event with the Mark 12 down in Tinley Park, and I was outranging everyone I came across with this thing. I could not find anyone that could match the range I was getting. This thing was an absolute monster. So another fun gun that I have built. This is one that I'm sure you guys have seen more recently a little bit of. At least I've been posting on my Instagram a couple posts about this thing. This is my personal striker, the Amoeba Striker ASO1, which I have done a few things to. As you can see, it does have the short fluted barrel on there with, it's not the Amoeba, it's actually the Action Army thread adapter, because these do have a 23mm positive thread on the barrels, which is kind of a proprietary thread. I do have a large 40mm suppressor on there, which I do have filled with dampening material, and the inner barrel, which I have a Prometheus 601 or 603, sorry, steel barrel going about 2/3 of the way through. Does make this a pretty accurate gun, also quite silent. Do have that big honkin' scope on there. More so for look than really necessity, because honestly, 12 times magnification is not needed for airsoft. It is definitely on there, more so for the look because it looks cool with that on there, but definitely is a nice scope to have. It is illuminated red, green, and blue. I do have a, I did swap out the front portion of the scope mount to have a rail on the front so I can attach either a scope cam, something like a run cam, zoom, or if I wanted I could put a micro red dot like a reflex on there if I wanted something for closer range engagements. Honestly though, it's a bolt action, shouldn't need that. And then of course just a standard hunting style 1 or 2 point sling on there. These things are fantastic. I absolutely love these sniper rifles. I don't do bolt guns in airsoft. It's just not my thing. I've owned 1 or 2 in the past, never really had much fun, much use out of them. This thing I feel will be a lot different. I do still plan on doing a lot with this. This is only maybe halfway to its finished point, but these things are great. We love them here. As you can see, we've got all of them up here. We've got the custom one that we made all fancy with all the stuff on it. Cool bolt guns. So here's another cool one. Unfortunately, I don't have this one in person, but this is a cool custom one I did a while ago for Carl. This is a nice Sopmod block one that I built for him. He did the awesome paint job on it. Looks really cool, but I built this basically from scratch from him. Long list of parts, but he did a fantastic job with this paint job. Very nicely worn too. It's got that great battle worn look to it. But yeah, I did a lot of cool stuff on there. Had like gate tighten, high speed gears, high torque neo motor, upgraded piston, all the air seal components, just a ton of stuff. Really cool, fun, great performing rifle. Kind of miss this thing, wish it was still around, but it is what it is. It was a great build. I hope whoever has it now is having a great time with it. But again, look at that fancy paint job. Not really even fancy, it's just really cool. Here is another one that I don't have around anymore, but another HPA build that I had done. This was a beta project AK. This originally started as a Lancer Tactical / JG metal body. These things are kind of cool. Feel like a very modern tactical railed AK. I did some work to it. Had the buffer tube on it, of course, and I put the, as you see here, the PTS stock, the EPGC, fantastic stock. This nice AIM aluminum vertical grip, a short one, with the Magpul rail covers on it. A micro T1, had this nice B&T suppressor on there as well. This had the ProTech Mark 2.5 HPA system in it, a now discontinued HPA system. It was a pretty good one. I didn't own it for too long, only played with this gun, I think, once or twice before I did actually sell it. It's just, the way things go. Wasn't a bad gun at all. I loved it. Just not exactly my style in AKs. I'm a little bit more of a classic style AK. Never was a huge fan of the beta projects myself, but I still did like this. It did turn out really nice. Of course, got the PEC unit on there and that nice suppressor on there. This was a very fun gun, a very cool build. Love doing AK builds. I mean, as you may or may not know, I'm definitely an AK guy. Love my AKs. I own a lot of them, have built a lot of them, have gone through a lot of them as I, find new guns I want to build and may not necessarily have the room for them. Have to get rid of some old ones to get into some new ones. In fact, on that note, let me grab one of my AKs. So this guy is one of my most recent builds. This was a complete from the ground up build. Started as a Boneyard AK that I had bought from a shop out on the East Coast, and I had completely redone everything on this gun. Like I said, it was Boneyard, This has basically been built from the ground up. The only things that I kept on here would be some of the externals, the stock, the receiver, the barrel, gas block, and front sight are basically the only original parts that I kept on this gun. The stock I refinished. I completely sanded it down, refinished it, went for this dark wood with the lacquer on there, so it's very shiny. I do like the way that the color turned out on this wood. And I do have on there, of course, the rubber butt pad on there, and I have a Midwest Industries quick detach socket for a sling point on there. Moving up, I've got the PTS US Palm grip on there. Love these grips, super comfortable for an AK grip. I do have a rail that mounts over top of the dust cover. This is by actually NC Star. This thing I kind of like because it gives you a rail up top, but it's pretty easy to get this thing out of the way to get a battery in and out. If you had a battery mounted up top, it's really just one screw. You loosen or take the screw out here and it hinges up. Otherwise, like I have on this one, I've actually got it wired in the rear. I don't even have a stock plate on there. I just use the rubber butt pad, which holds on pretty good, slipped over top of there. On top of that rail, I do have a replica EOTech 553. Moving down to the magazine, this is, and actually with this entire gun, this is a lot more for look and less of function because I am personally a big fan of the game Escape from Tarkov. It's a PC game. If you've never heard of it, check it out. Very cool, great gun mechanics in that game, a lot of cool customizations you can do with guns, and this is built off of an AK that you could absolutely build almost to a T in that game. So this would be replicating the 60 round, or as they call as a nickname in that game, the ice cream cone 60 round AK 7.62 mag, or sorry, 5.45 mag, not 7.62. This is about as close as you can really get these days for an airsoft replica of that. This is just some cheap flash mag meant to look like the US Palm 7.62s. It does have that shape. Doesn't have the 5.45 curve because there's a deeper curve to it, but it's as close as I can get. Moving up to the handguard, I do have a real Magpul Zhukov U handguard in the plum color. I am a big fan of Russian plum. Very cool, very ergonomic, very comfortable grip. Does have the M-LOK, so you've got the M-LOK mounts on the front, and on the rear where I have the Magpul Paraclip M-LOK sling point. You do have mounts on the bottom as well, so if I wanted I could put a grip on there. Personally, I don't really want a grip on it. I do have a replica Ultimac 1B, M1B rail gas tube on there. Again, I love the look of these, as is with most of the stuff. It's just about looks and the cool factor, and these things actually line up so well with the lines of these Zhukov handguards. It's like they were meant to go together. Very, very cool. And then on the end here, I have a replica DTK4 545 suppressor. This one is actually by GHK. Flip it around, you can see Russian trades on there, DTK4. And again, the Magpul Zhukov U. This was a very fun build. I actually plan on trying to go to maybe a con with this and do some cosplaying of Escape from Tarkov. Might be a fun thing to do since I have all the gear for it. This would be a fun gun to take because, like I said, you can build this gun almost to a T in that game. The only real difference is the NC Star rail along the top is not in the game. There are some things that are going to be similar, not the exact same, like you can get railed dust covers in there. Don't have that on this gun, but I just like how this works out for this gun a little bit better. So yeah, went over a bunch of the cool guns that we have here available, guns that I have done for TFAK Customs here. If this is something you guys would be interested in, always available to do builds. I always love doing them. If you have, questions, ideas, something you might want to do, or if you actually want to get a build done, you can either stop here at the store, you can shoot us an email, you can shoot us a message on Facebook, or you can give us a call. Always, like I said, willing to do these builds. Love doing them. A lot of fun. One of my biggest enjoyments out of the sport is building these guns, doing these custom guns, and making something unique and creative. It's a lot of fun. So if you guys are interested in that, like I said, give us a shout. We can see what we can do. You guys have a good week, and you'll see Talon again next week. Have a good one.